Well, it's the 15th of March 2014 and here we were looking at my Commodore 128. This system I've had for, I think, about the mid-90s. I've had this one. I had a 128 when I was a teenager, of course, and the 64 originally. Well, the VIC-20 and the 64 and then a 128, that was the natural progression. The system is actually not running. Not entirely sure what's wrong with it. Might just be a fuse, but might be something more. So here are our expansion ports on the back. We've got a user port, RGB port, serial video, cassette and expansion port on the end here. Even the power supply has a 128 spec on it. The cartridge in front of me is a action replay cartridge. Not quite sure what revision it is, but so on this side we've got our joystick ports over here, and reset button, power switch, and a power port as well. I think keyboard wise this is probably one of the most comfortable systems around. The keys they're fairly spongy, but with enough spring in them to fly back into place. When I use it mainly, I pretty much use 64 mode almost always. I hardly ever used 128 mode, and I can't regret that now. You know, if more people had made software that was for the 128, we could have had like really pushed on somewhat. I guess the Amiga didn't really help that much either, given that the Amiga 1000 came out in, I think it was about 84, 85, and these systems were out competing against it. So, you know, it's an 8-bit system, 6502 CPU. You've got 128K of memory. Most of the video modes, it's got an 80 column mode in it, so there's actually a higher resolution mode in 128 mode. The Commodore 65, which is a prototype system, it's kind of like a hybrid of the Amiga and the Commodore 64 and the 128. It sort of works like a 128, where you've got different modes. We can switch between a 64 mode and a 128. On the 65, you can switch between 64 mode and 65 mode. It has a full 8-bit display. Actually, it has 256 colours, and I think the palette is from a 24-bit palette, so you can pretty much display any of those nice old 8-bit pictures without much effort. This system here I'm going to actually, I guess, trade for a PC with a friend of mine. He's still doing a bit of 64 programming, and this has been sitting in my cupboard for a long time, so I thought I will, you know, let it go and let him use it. Well, that's it.